Life struggles, happy moments, bad times, and unforgettable memories.
Join us as we talk about our lives and share a laugh or two with us as we bring you along on our crazy journey called life.
Welcome
Welcome to
to
Two
Wives,
Wives,
One
One
World.
World.
Hey listeners, welcome back for another episode.
Hey guys, welcome back to Two Wives, One World. We are super excited for today because it's been a little while since we've been on here. We can't wait to talk to you guys. So this episode's going to be a really good one.
Yeah, I agree. And I guess we'll start it off how we start off every episode with what is in your cup?
Yes, my favorite segment ever. My favorite. Nikki, do you want to start us off? Show off what you have today.
So I've had this one in here before. It's just my blue water bottle. And inside of it is, surprise, surprise, some water. So.
Oh, I thought you were going to say sweet tea.
Nope, not sweet tea today. Just water.
I love the color of that water bottle. I think it's so pretty. I really like that.
Me too. My mother-in-law actually got this for me, so thank you, Lisa.
Yes, thank you, Lisa, because that is very aesthetically pleasing. Good choice, Nikki. I have this here cup that you can freeze. It has like little gels, like that looks like crushed ice in it, but you freeze it, and it's supposed to freezer gel keeps your drinks cold. It's supposed to keep your stuff really cold, and I actually have homemade cold brew coffee in here. I tried making cold brew for the first time did it on Saturday, and then I had to sit for 24 hours. Oh, wow, this is actually so cold. It's actually made my coffee a little bit frozen. But you're supposed to leave it brew for like 24 hours in the fridge, and then it gets really strong. So I don't suggest, if you guys ever do cold brew, I don't suggest you to just basically drink the concentrate, the coffee. I would definitely put some sort of creamer or sugar or water it down a little bit, because I mean it's thick. It's thick with two C's after it's thick. But yeah, that's what we got today. We're keeping hydrated. We are keeping caffeinated because, guys, this has been a wild ride lately. It has been crazy. I mean, I just need my coffee.
I agree. And I want that recipe because that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I love cold brew coffee.
Super easy. All you need is they sell, and I actually got it for a birthday present. It's just a little jug that has like a real long filter, like instead of like the K cups, how they're small, it's like a long filter. You put like ground coffee beans in and literally just fill it up 3/4 of the way with water, and then it just brews for 24 hours. It's so good. It's so good. But I will send you a recipe for some good coffee because
yes, definitely.
So good.
So funny thing is, Justin took me to go get Dunkin' on Friday, I think, because I wanted ice cream so bad, but all the ice cream places around here were packed with people, like onto the road people, like not even in the parking lot, on the road. So Justin's like, let's go to Dunkin' Donuts, we'll get coffee instead. And I was like, I'm always up for coffee, so sounds good. We pull into Dunkin', there's 2 cars in front of us. The one person drives off and the next person's up in line. And Justin and I were just sitting there with our windows down, and we hear, hello, hello. And then the car in front of us drives away. And we were like, what?
What? Oh, no.
So then we pull up to the speaker box thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we sit there for like probably about 3 minutes. And I said to Justin, this is weird. Like, why isn't anybody saying anything? So he goes, hello, is anybody there? And no one answered. So we sat there for like another 3 minutes. And I was like, maybe just pull up to the window. Maybe their speaker's broken. So we pull up to the window, look in the window. There's nobody in there, but all of the lights are on. So we don't know what happened, but we didn't end up getting Dunkin' after that.
No! So what'd you guys do? Did you go get ice cream somewhere, or did you just go home?
We went to Wendy's and so they have a thing called a Frosty Chino, which is like coffee with a Frosty in it.
That sounds so good.
It was really good. Justin got it. And they had like this new chocolate chip cookie sundae thing with Frosties. And I was like, oh, that sounds so good. That's what I want. It came out and it was only this big.
I bet you paid $4 for it though.
Yes.
I
It
hate
was so small.
I can't stand that. You know what I've realized though is like even like Dairy Queen lately, their servings have been super small. Like not necessarily their blizzards. At least down here though, like if you get a like cone,
Mhm.
small's literally like that much ice cream. I'm not kidding. Like and you pay like $3.99 or something outrageous. It's like I'm
Like,
about to just go buy a bucket of ice cream.
I honestly, I don't mind smaller portions, but at least price it correctly.
Right, I agree with that. But
Like
you
if
know how I eat ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah, you eat your ice cream really fast. I mean,
I
I eat my
do.
ice cream super slow, but like you eat ice cream fast.
I do.
But like if you're gonna only get this much ice cream off of the cone, you should be paying like $1 for it instead of like $3.50 or whatever.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Dang it, why do things have to be so freaking expensive? I'm sorry about that. Also, off of that, I saw somebody on Snapchat had taken a picture of the Dairy Queen back home and
Mhm.
how the cars were literally on the road.
Yes,
That
that
is
happened
crazy.
on Friday.
That is crazy to me. There's no way I'm waiting in that line.
No,
There's no way. Couldn't pay
we
me.
didn't
But
either.
that's just insane. That's insane. I guess we should probably go ahead and get right into it. But before we do that, we just kind of want to do a little bit of a trigger warning for those of you that listen, and maybe you've been through depression or anxiety, or you topics like that make you feel uncomfortable, or they kind of put you uneasy. We just want to say real quick tonight what we're going to be talking about is very, very serious. It is extremely sensitive to some of you. So if you're listening, we just want to give you a quick heads up to let you know that we will be talking about some sensitive topics tonight. And if any of you ever feel like you need someone to talk to, there are resources you can go to. You can reach out to us, reach out to your family. There are hotlines you can call. There's all sorts of stuff like that. But right before we get into it, we just wanted to add that in there real quick, just in case anybody needed to hear that.
Yeah, and they also do text lines now. So if
Oh,
you don't feel comfortable calling, you can always text somebody too. Um, I find that amazing because some people get anxious just thinking about talking on the phone. So the fact that we have a text line now is really cool.
yes, that's amazing. The resources that we have offered to us have just been getting better and better as the years go by. So that
Mhm.
is really cool. Maybe we will add down below in the comments, we'll put what the numbers to those hotlines are. So if any of you are listening and you're thinking, oh, maybe I could use someone to talk to, but you don't feel comfortable talking to someone in your personal life, we'll go ahead and we will put those numbers down in the comments for you so you have resources available.
Definitely. Okay, guys, and so I guess we should get into it now. We're going to be talking about anxiety today. There has been a lot going on in our lives in the last couple weeks. If you have noticed, if you keep up with our upload schedule, we always upload on Wednesdays and Fridays. Well, we uploaded our last podcast with Cassidy's brother Shad, and that was 2 weeks ago. We skipped last week's upload, and we haven't been uploading vlogs on Friday either for 2 weeks. That is because there has been a lot of just emotional things going on in both of our lives, not even just one or the other. Um, and we just kind of want to talk to you guys about that today. So, Cass, do you want to let them know what's been going on with you?
Yeah, yeah. So for me, it's more of like so I have a very, very bizarre, I guess it's not bizarre, but I have kind of a fear of dying. And sometimes I've found myself lately at night laying and like just wondering if I'm doing enough with my life, if I'm fulfilling the things I want to fulfill, if I am friends with the right people, not you because you're my BFF, but there are some very questionable people in my life that I just don't know. Should I be friends with them? Should I not? Do I need to tell them how I feel? Do I need to do this? Stuff like that's been going on. And it's almost a sense of not knowing what to do. It's like I'm in a comfortable point in my life, but do I need to be doing something different? Do I need to be going more places? Do I need to be picking up a hobby, do I need to, in my mind, just runs and runs and runs and runs and runs to the point where I overthink, and then I don't feel like I'm doing the right things, and I feel like I'm bothering people, and I feel like I can't really talk to anybody about it because I'm afraid they're going to say, oh, you have nothing to be upset about. You know, you have a good life, you have this and that. And it's more of like, I just don't know what's going to happen down the road or what I need to do. Just because it's almost like I feel like my life right now is on this schedule of the same things happening over and over and over and over. And it's all good things, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy with where I'm at. It's just there are holes in me that feel like they aren't really being fulfilled because I just don't know what to do next. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It just feels like I'm not doing the right things in life.
Right.
Because I don't want to spend my 20s, you know, I'll turn 30 and I don't want to say, oh, I wish I would have done more in my 20s. You know, I wish I would have done this, or I would have I wish I would have wore that crop top and not cared what other people think. So basically that's where I'm at now. And there are other nights where it's like I'm so tired, my mind runs so much, I don't even have motivation to get out of bed. So I'll come home from work and I'll literally sit in my bed until it's time to go to bed. And I'll just do things like play Animal Crossing and watch YouTube videos because I don't feel like I don't have the motivation to do anything. And I don't know how to talk about it because I can't explain what's wrong. That's the thing that sucks, is you don't know. So that's basically where I'm at, and we've talked about it a lot.
Yeah, we have gone to each other a lot the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Just confiding in each other. Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see where you're coming from. Once you get into a cycle of something, it just feels like it's so repetitive, and it's like, how do you live your life to the fullest whenever you feel like you're just doing the same things over and over again every day?
Yep. That's where I'm at. But what about you? What's going on with you? What's going
on? If you guys can tell, I dyed my hair, okay? And that's kind of where it started for me, was I'm really bad with change. And dyeing my hair was something I knew I really wanted to do. But I was so afraid of, is it going to look terrible? Am I going to ruin my hair? What are other people going to think? And I hate thinking like that because I want to get into the mindset of, it doesn't matter what other people think. It only matters how I feel. So I dyed my hair. And I didn't mind it, but I wasn't like amazed with it like I was hoping. So that started with me feeling kind of lesser than what I would like myself to feel. Like, I was like, well, if I don't like myself, then who else is going to like me? You know what I mean? So I kind of got into a state like that for a while. And then Cass and I filmed a day in the life with us, which hasn't been uploaded yet because I got into a really bad funk of not wanting to do anything at that point. So I didn't edit that, and I didn't do any of our podcast stuff, and I just kind of sat around and did nothing. And I didn't have the motivation to do anything. So I filmed the day in the life, and I watched it back, and I literally hated everything I recorded. So it was just hard for me to look at myself and be like, I hate everything that I do in my life. Even though I'm not doing anything wrong. Like, I took my dog out. I woke up at a decent time. I watched The Office. I made breakfast, and not like an unhealthy breakfast either. Like, there was nothing wrong with what I was doing, but I hated myself because of it. And that's just not healthy to do. So I definitely was like beating myself up about that. And I have a really bad habit of just continuing to say like bad things about myself over and over and over again, to the point where I really start believing it. And And I went to Cass a lot, just being like, what do you think of this? This is how I feel. I don't know what to do. And she was constantly there, like reassuring me that I'm a good person. Like, what I'm doing is fine. My hair looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Because I called her as soon as it was done and I was like, does this look terrible? And she was like, no. But yeah, it's just been a hard 2 weeks for me mentally. Um, and there's a couple other things that happened, and I just felt like nobody really cared about me. Like, I had three people in my mind that I could honestly think that if I just disappeared today, would they care? And you were one of them. My husband was another, and my mom. And that was all I could think of. So my husband got me out of bed. He literally dressed me one day because I did not want to get up. And I honestly don't know what I would do without him. Like, he has been such a rock for me. Um and this isn't easy to talk about. but
Mm-mm.
but I feel like if this could help one person, then that's all that matters.
Yep, that definitely makes it worth it. And it's hard. And for anybody out there that goes through this stuff, it's not easy to talk about. It's really not. So it's easy to have the words in your mind and have the thoughts in your mind, know what you want to say, but then um, for me, it's a thing like, okay, I know what I want to say, I know who I want to talk to about it, and I go to do it, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I sound stupid. Like, oh, like a thing for me a lot of the time is, oh, I hate my body all the time, constantly. I hate my body. I want to talk to somebody about it, other than you, because you and I always have those heart to hearts. We understand it,
Right.
but you know, if I say it to somebody else, it's like, oh, well, then change it, or oh, stop, you're beautiful. It's like, I'm not saying I'm not beautiful. I'm saying I hate my body. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
one of those things where if you haven't been through it firsthand, it's almost hard to understand it. So it's like, but finding the people that you can talk to about it. Sorry, guys. Finding the people that you can talk to about it is super, super important. Like you said, like your husband's amazing. Justin's awesome. He's an awesome guy. And for him to help you out like that is super, super important. Like that's something right there is the reason why you get married, is because you can have someone that's gonna not only love you through the good times, but it's also gonna help you through the bad times. And that's so amazing that he helped you like that. And it's hard sometimes to go through life by yourself, and I think it's really important for us to just remember that we're not going through it by ourselves, even though sometimes it might feel like it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Um, like you said, with like hating your body, I definitely 100% feel that. I do that on a daily basis. I am trying to get better though. Like, I'm trying to do the body positivity thing, and there are days where I'm really good at it and days where I'm really bad at it. But the thing that triggers me the most with that is when people say, well, then change it. Like, don't you think I know that I need to change it? Don't you think I've tried to change it? Like, it's not that I wish I had a magical genie to wish all my fat away. No. Like,
Right. I
I've worked
know.
out, I've ate healthy, I've done the diets, I've done diet pills, and none of it made me feel better. None of it. The thing that makes me feel better is like working out, and not working out to lose weight, but working out to make my body feel stronger.
Yep. And having
So,
fun with it.
yes, definitely. So, people out there that struggle with their body issues and think if I'm skinnier, I'll be happier. No, that's not the case. Because I don't know. At my skinniest, I still thought I was fat.
Oh, me too, girl. Me too. And now I look at pictures of me from like, our junior year in high school, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was skinny.
Mhm.
I was like, I looked good, but I didn't think that. I thought I was ginormous.
Right.
if not worse than how I feel about myself now. I feel like I definitely was harder on myself. I'm very hard on myself now, but I was even harder on myself then because we were going to high school with a bunch of jerks. Like the people in our class, and
Yeah.
I don't even really care if anybody from our class listens to this and gets offended. The people that we graduated with were horrible. We had one of the worst classes. Like, and anybody that listens to it, it's not that it was individual people that were bad. It's just the groups that were mean. I can't tell you how many people were bullies in our grade and in high school in general. I feel like everybody goes through that. But not only was it me being hard on myself, but I had people say things to me. My own boyfriend had said things to me about my body.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's just not a good mentality. So I was harder on myself back then. But now, as a 25-year-old adult, I'm like, girl, you looked good back in 2012. Like, I wish I looked like that now.
But you know what? You look good now.
Aw.
You do. Like, honestly, I'm trying, like, I have gone back and looked at pictures, like, our senior year, our junior year. Like, I was at the dance studio. If you guys didn't know, I danced for, like, from the time I was 3 until the time I was 18 in high school. I was in the dance studio every day, and I was tone AF. Like, I
You
was so
were.
toned. And then I went to college. Haven't been in the dance well, I've been in the dance studio, and I have danced, but, like, not to the point that, like, I was in there every night almost.
You really were.
So, obviously, a lot of the tone, like, the toning in my legs and my arms and my abs and all that stuff went away because I stopped doing what I was doing. And I try to, like, think of it like that now. Like, obviously, I'm not going to look like what I did in high school because I'm not doing what I was doing in high school, which
Right.
was not healthy either because I would go on binges and, like, binge eat things in the middle of the night because I didn't want my mom to know I was eating, or I didn't want my friends to know that I ate like that. So I would eat, like, basically nothing during the day and then binge eat at night. And that's not healthy either.
Oh, nope, it sure isn't. I know.
And there are times where I still kind of find myself doing that, even though I know Justin doesn't care what I eat. Like, I'll think to like, while he's at work, I'll be like, oh, I need to eat this now so he doesn't know I ate this when he gets home.
I'm the same way.
Yes.
I swear I'm the same way. If I get fast food for dinner, and I know Ryan won't care that I got fast food for dinner, I make sure I put it in the garbage, and then I make sure I put something on top of it.
Yeah.
So he doesn't see the bag. Not because I don't want him to know, but because something in the back of my head's like, oh, what's he going to think if you have fast food? Like, and it's not because he's ever said anything to me. That's not what our husbands have never said anything to us about our body.
Never.
This is a defense mechanism that dates back from when we were younger, and the way we felt still reflects on ourselves now. Like, I tell Ryan now, I was like, I know you've never been angry at me and yelled at me. I know you've never broken any of my stuff. You've never done any of that, but I still get afraid of it just because it's happened before in the past. It's one of those things where I don't think people understand the things you go through in your life. They reflect on you for the rest of your life. I'm still getting over things that happened to me in 6th grade. You know what I mean? That was 14 years ago.
Yep.
So I know we just, and if any of you out there are having trouble, or you're in a situation where you need help out or anything like that, we are always here to be resources, and we can help. But I feel like a lot of people go through the same things, but they just don't necessarily talk about it because it's not something easy to talk about.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's definitely not. I remember being in 4th grade. 4th grade. And there was this boy I liked. And I remember one of my friends being like, well, if we work out constantly, he'll like you. So we got on a trampoline and we jumped. Well, I jumped for like hours and hours and hours. And I was sweating and she was spraying me with a spray bottle to make it look like I was sweating more, and it was just, I was in 4th grade. I was like 9 years old, 9 or 10, and I felt like I needed to overexert my body to make it look a certain way for a boy. That
Yep.
that blows my mind.
Not even a decade old, and we were already self-conscious.
And like, why? Why do you think that is?
I think it's a mixture between the media and kids being brats, honestly. Honestly, I really do, because I told the story on our first anxiety episode that we did, about the kid that called me a fat A word when I was in like 10th, well, not 10th grade, when I was like 10 years old.
Mhm.
I was 9 or 10 years old calling me that. I still remember it to this day. And I can just remember, like, I can remember comparing myself to other girls in elementary school and like just being like, not as tiny as them. And I
Right.
don't know. It's a mixture between kids um, joking and playing around with each other and them being serious and saying, "Oh, I was just kidding. I was just kidding." Like, I don't even know how to explain it other than definitely bullying and the media, because even the media would, like, even as young girls back in the early 2000s, all the girls were skinny, like, and models were skinny, and celebrities were all skinny. Can you think of a plus size woman from our childhood?
Honestly, the only thing that comes to my mind is Raven Simone from
Yep.
That's So Raven.
And she isn't even, if you watch That's So Raven, she looks good. She isn't
Mhm.
even, but for that was like a very powerful moment in life for us, is to see a girl that looked like her on TV, because every other girl looked like Ashley Tisdale,
Mhm.
Hilary Duff,
Yep.
Vanessa Hudgens, which they're Miley Cyrus. Oh my
Miley
gosh, she was
Cyrus
small.
gave me such a body complex
Yes.
because we were in, it had to be like upper elementary, middle school
Yep.
age whenever Hannah Montana came out, and that show, I love that show. Don't get me wrong, I love all of the music. I still sing it today, but I wanted to look like her.
Oh, me too.
And the way my body was shaped, I was never going to look like her.
Right. I don't know. And do you remember the Hannah Montana wigs at Claire's?
Yes, I do
It's like, I
actually.
so bad. I got one of those, but like I knew I was never gonna look like her because I wasn't. She was small, guys. I'm talking. She probably weighed. Oh man. Oh, maybe 120 pounds, soaking
Yeah.
wet. Like, she was small, and I don't know. I feel like TV had a lot to do with it. What about you? What do you think?
I 100% agree with like the media and everything, and I just think like going through life as a bigger girl and woman, like you obviously have friends and you see girls that are smaller than you. And I remember going shopping with my mom one time and I ran into one of my friends that like was really tiny, and we were both looking for jeans for school. And she was like, "Oh, I'm like a size 2." And I was like, "Oh, mom, what size am I? I want to get the same jeans she gets." I don't even remember what size jean I was. I probably was like an 8 or something. And my mom was like, "They don't have these jeans in your size." And I remember being so devastated because I couldn't buy the same low-rise jeans that my friend was buying because they didn't offer my size in those jeans. And I was like in elementary school.
Hmm. It's sad. I don't even know how to explain it other than it's just a nasty world we live in sometimes.
Hmm.
And I really hope that there are girls out there that, like, I feel like now that the times have changed a little bit, I hope that, like, once we are have a family, and if we have daughters, I hope that there's enough role models that are plus size women, and especially in TV shows and stuff, that they're not going to look at TV and say, well, why aren't there any girls that look like me on that show? Like, I don't know. That's something that, I don't know, the TV's bad. But yep, and we talked about Hollister before on here, and I will never forget, there was a Hollister t-shirt that I wanted that had little glasses of sweet tea all over it. And I talked about this before too as well, guys. Sorry. So if you've heard that episode, I apologize for repeating myself. They had little cups of iced tea all over it and said Hollister across the boobs, and I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad. So bad.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't. And I was small. Like, I was skinny. Like, okay, I wasn't skinny, but I was way smaller than what I am now. I mean, it's just devastating. So.
And isn't that crazy to think, like, we were so young and stuff like that still, like, we still remember that feeling.
Yep.
10 plus years from now. Like, I'm 25 and I remember feeling absolutely terrible about myself at 8 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy to me, but I don't even know why. I don't know why our brains. I learned something really cool about our brains before, and Ryan had actually told me about this. Our brains register certain things, and I don't know. And if you guys are listening, you actually know the real terms for this and stuff. Let me know down below. But your brain actually, throughout the day, registers things as things you're going to remember the next day and things that you're going to forget about down the road. And it's crazy to me that our brains have wired those moments that happened to us. What was elementary school was 15 years ago?
Yeah.
15 years ago, our brains wired that so we'd remember it. So that's something that had to have put a huge impact on the way we felt for us to remember it 15 years later.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these issues are real, and it's devastating because I feel like a lot of women go through the same things we go through, but they don't feel comfortable enough talking about it because they feel embarrassed or they feel ashamed or just things like that, to where it's better to talk about it.
And so I was just thinking about this because we were talking about media and how it made us feel like crap when we were younger. I have been watching a lot of TikToks, and TikTok is bringing me back to my younger days, watching like skinny girls in the media getting all of this attention for doing what? What are they doing that's important? Nothing. They're shaking their little butts on camera, which if you're a minor, that's not good to do.
Yeah, don't do that, please.
Yeah, please don't. But then like plus size women kind of get slept on that app.
Oh.
And like I don't know. Like I wanted to make dance TikToks, and I had like a billion in my drafts that I've learned and I've done. And I'm just so afraid to post them because I don't look like the little girls on TikTok that are like 5, 6, 7, 8 years younger than me. Obviously, I'm not going to look like them. I'm 25 years old. But still, like, that made me put my body down.
Yep.
So, yep. I definitely think TikTok is a big reason that girls are going to start doing that to themselves again.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And the thing that makes me so mad about that is I've seen some awesome videos that plus size women are in. And then they get like maybe 1,000 likes or whatever. But then you see the skinny girls doing like, oh, here's me drinking some Starbucks. And they get like 25,000 likes. And it's like, yes. For what? For what? Like, because you add up to society's guidelines on how to be a beautiful woman? Like, no, I'm sorry. Like, it's insane. It's toxic.
And we're not saying if you are skinny that that's bad. Not at all, because you probably look at your body the same way we look at ours.
Yes.
Every body is beautiful because it is functioning, it is working. yeah, I don't want to put people that are actually skinny down too, because I'm sure they have their issues just like everybody else.
Right. Oh yeah, I agree.
I have a friend who struggles with gaining weight, and she actually has problems finding clothes that actually fit her, that aren't like super baggy on her.
Oh.
And I remember thinking like I wish I had that issue, but I'm sure to her like that's just it feels as bad as not being able to fit into clothes.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, everybody's beautiful. Every single person is. Um, and if you make cool TikTok videos, that's awesome. But the fact that a lot of women are getting, like you said, slept on because they don't look, what the way that society wants them to look just makes me a little bit upset, but that's okay.
I definitely agree with you on that.
What are we going to do? We've been dealing with it for, well, since we've been alive,
Yeah.
and we probably will deal with it until we are dead.
So, my question to you is, if you have a daughter,
Hmm.
how are you going to change the way she looks at herself so she doesn't end up growing up feeling like her body is worthless?
Um, Probably by showing her. See, that's a hard question. I don't know.
No.
Probably by showing her like other women that are successful and are plus size,
Hmm.
and telling her about, I don't know, like with the companies that don't sell her size, just tell her like, I don't know, there are a million other companies that sell even better clothes that don't discriminate against anybody. Um, and basically just make sure that she knows that it's okay to be like that.
Yeah.
Just because it's, but my thing is, what scares me is like with kids saying things, is like, I don't know how to stop that without being beside her 24/7.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the last thing I want. So I guess I'm going to tell her, like, and if anybody says anything about her body, to let me know, and I will personally handle it with their parents and let them know what a horrible child that their kid is. Um, I would never tell anybody their child is horrible. I'm just
Your child is a piece of beep because they told my kid blah blah blah.
because they told my kid that they were a bleep bleep, and then I'd call their parents something.
Bleep
How do
bleep
I?
bleep.
Yeah, a bleep times 10. But what would you do? That's a good question. That's a really good.
Yeah.
That makes you think.
Um, I think for me, I would just like make sure she's watching more than just like watching all kinds of body shapes. Like she can watch Hannah Montana, but also like know that there's other girls being successful in that area of work as well. Like I'm trying to think of another, like Raven Simone, like we talked about before. And I know there's a couple other shows that have like plus size girls, like girls that aren't your average size, as
Glee.
like the leading roles. Glee, yes, Glee, absolutely. Um, so I would do that. I would make sure, well, you know what? Media's done a lot better than they did when we were younger with making
Mm,
sure that all sizes are on magazines and stuff like that. Um, but I also would like want to make sure that I let her know like she's beautiful. No matter what she looks like, she is beautiful all the time. But I also want her to know like it's important to have a healthy lifestyle. So like I want her to grow up seeing me like working out and doing physical things and eating healthy. And that is going to be a struggle for me because some days I don't want to work out, some days I don't want to eat healthy. But it's important, I feel like, if you have kids to let them know like it's okay to eat a piece of cake whenever you want, but also make sure that you eat your vegetables and
mm. Go
all
for a
of that
walk
stuff.
and
Yeah. Like you can have fun working out and you can have fun not working out, but you need to have a good balance of both.
yes.
And like you said about kids telling like saying mean things to your kid, like I guess I would just make sure that she knows she's worth a lot and not to take stuff like that. Because I feel like growing up, not saying my mom didn't do that, but like I didn't know my worth growing up. And I want my kids to know like they're important to everybody. But
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a grade A answer. Like, that was a good answer. I mean,
I
you
had to
were
stop because I was like
amazing.
tearing up and I'm like, I don't want to
Oh,
cry on the podcast.
yeah. I mean, it's hard to talk about this stuff for sure. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sure you guys listening, like, I'm sure we all have our own problems and we all have our own insecurities. So it's hard whenever you're talking about something that's very, very close to home and something you've been dealing with for years. It's hard to not get emotional about it just because it's something that you've struggled with and have carried that with you for so long that it just shows that when you get emotional about it, it's something that has really, really affected you. So it's just great that we have this platform that we're able to talk about how we're feeling and we're able to get our feelings out there and we're able to talk to other people and help other people and entertain people just in getting the word out there. It's super, super important. So yes, a happy medium's great. And, you know, it's just, I don't know, life's kind of weird sometimes, but is there anything else other than, do you feel like there's any other insecurity in your life other than like like for me, like I don't like my body, but I also get like anxious over feeling like people secretly hate me. Like I feel like people secretly talk about me. Like today at work, and I love all the ladies I work with. I love every single one of them, and I know they would never talk bad about me. But there are times where I'll walk out of a room with 4 or 5 other people in it. I'll walk out of the room and I'll be thinking, oh man, I hope they're not talking bad about me. Like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. They're probably talking bad about me or something. But I know they never would. I know they never would. If anybody from work ever listens to this, I don't think you talk bad about me. My mind just makes it so that it feels like people are always talking about me. So is there anything like that that you deal with?
I definitely feel that way all the time about people. Um, and I think that's a big part of my social anxiety is just like feeling like I almost don't want to talk to anybody because I don't want them to judge me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd rather not talk to anybody and not have anybody judge me than talk to someone, leave the room and then be like, "Wow, she was weird."
Right. Or she
So,
has fake problems.
yeah. So like that's something I'm trying to get better at as well is just like pushing through that anxiety and like actually talking to people instead of just I don't want to say blowing them off, but like wishing I would have said something but I didn't because I was afraid of what they were going to say back. So, yeah, I definitely get that. I've done that at work a bunch too, where like all of the teachers will be talking and I work with amazing people, but they'll all be talking and like I have something to say to add to the conversation, but I just don't say it because I'm afraid of what they're going to say back to it and am I going to be able to answer it? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like just that those conversations are hard to keep going. And then I'm really bad at ending conversations. Like I'm good at starting and like talking to somebody, but then like whenever I have to go and do something, I'm always like, um, uh,
Bye.
and it gets so awkward. And I'm like, yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta go. So that definitely makes me nervous too. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm also working on that because I'm great at talking to kids. That's why I became a teacher, but I'm not so great at talking to adults. And that kind of has to go along with being a teacher as well because you have to talk to students' parents, you have to talk to your colleagues. Like, you got to work on that.
I'm
So,
the exact opposite of that.
really?
I'm good at talking to adults. I'm not good at talking to kids. I'm very awkward with children. So I feel like we need to teach each other.
Yes.
Like we need to have a little workshop for each other. So this is what you say in this predicament.
Right. I
Because
definitely
I'm just awkward.
I definitely agree. Like I can sit and talk to a kid for like hours, but like throw an adult in front of me and I'm like,
Ugh.
you like coffee? I like coffee. So
That's how I am with kids.
it's just so it's weird. And
Yeah,
then oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say it takes a special person to like work with children just because it takes a very caring and like awesome person. So
Thank you.
you have some awesome traits. But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, I was just gonna say another thing I like have a hard time with is feeling like people actually care about me. And like I know people care about me, but I have I don't know, like I have such anxiety about like people saying they care and not actually caring. Like
Yeah, that's a
I
hard.
have a, I have this friend that um I didn't I don't really feel like she cares, but she's always like, "Oh, I love you so much. Like I can come to you about anything and blah 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 blah." It's not you.
No, I know.
And but like secretly I think she's like, "Oh, I don't really care about her. I just have her around for my own wants and needs." And that's probably not the case at all, but in my head that's how I feel. Like people only want me when they want me, not like I'm only like I feel like people think I'm only friends with her when I need her for something.
When it's beneficial, when it's beneficial.
Yes, and I think that comes from just like growing up in the household I grew up in. Not that I grew up in a bad household, but like my sisters and brothers were all like a lot older than me. So they would like go to their friend's house and they would leave for college. And I think being so young, I didn't understand that. Like I thought, oh, they just come and go whenever they want to see me and I'm just here for their pleasure. Other than that, they don't care about me, which is not the truth. And I know that now being older, but I feel like that carried over as an adult for me with my current relationships with friends and my in-laws. Like I think that about my in-laws and I know they like love me, but it's hard to always feel that way. Um, but yeah, I struggle with that a lot.
Yeah, it almost makes you wonder, like, at least like for me, like, why do I think people talk so much trash about me behind my back? Like, why do I think that? Like, but I don't. And I get anxiety over like I feel like I need to keep people in my life that I don't really need in my life. Like, I feel like I need to stay friends with toxic people because I'm afraid they're gonna do me dirty or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I'm afraid they're gonna like, I confide in them in something and they're gonna post it all over. I don't know. I'm not saying I have any dirt or anything, but you know what I mean? Like I confide in them about a crush or something in high school, and they'd be like, "Oh well, remember when?" Or like, well, Cassidy is trash and has a crush on Jimmy or something. And I'm just
Right.
like, I'm always so afraid that somebody's just gonna do me dirty or is like gonna purposely like lie to the ones I love, saying all this stuff and just try to. And I think I think part of the reason I have that is because some of the TV shows I watch, like not even kidding, there are people on TV shows that just absolutely destroy other people's reputations. And that
Yeah.
makes me nervous. I'm like, oh, dang, they're going to get revenge on me or something. Like, they're going to humiliate me in front of my workplace. But,
It's funny you say that because like that actually did happen to me. And well, you know about this because you were there for it. But like there was this girl in school that always like picked on me and I had a crush on this boy in middle
oh,
school
no. Oh,
and
oh,
she knew him.
yeah.
And me and this girl did end up like making up and it's a long story. I won't go into it. But she told this boy I liked him. I didn't want him to find out. We I don't even know what was said, but he basically ended up hating my guts by the end of the school year. For what reason, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
But needless to say, things worked out. I've never talked to that boy ever again.
I
So
wonder what he's doing right now. Like, what
I,
is his life?
I heard that he is not that great of a person.
Really?
Dodged a bullet there.
He was a really cute kid, though. Like,
Was.
he was a cute boy.
Yeah, I like to pick
Yeah.
him cute for the most part.
I
Some of my decisions were debatable, but like,
mean, have you seen my ex?
same.
Exes.
Same.
Yikes.
Yikes. Is right. I think
Um,
Justin's the best looking man I ever dated.
yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, yeah. Not. I was trying to think of who all I've dated. I didn't mean it like that.
You're like, yeah, your husband's pretty sexy. I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry. I'm like, yeah, Justin's pretty hot.
I mean, honestly though, if you said that, I would be like, thank you.
He is. I think Justin's a really good looking guy. Like,
Ditto.
I'm comparing Justin and
Jimmy John.
Jimmy John, and there's just no comparison. Jimmy John was filth, but
Utter
like literal filth. But then there was another guy that you dated that smelt like filth, and we're not even gonna go there. But
His whole self doesn't smell like filth, but
ooh, it smelled like something. But okay, so we were
anywho.
any whoosies. Very happy now. They're happy too. But yeah, I don't even remember where yes, friends. Now that we're back on the track. I feel like I have grown a lot in a sense of not really getting pleasure out of the same things I used to get pleasure out of. Like now, like my version of a fun Friday night is like Skyping you and getting to watch something together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where back in the day, I used to love to like go to a sleepover and be like, oh my gosh, did you hear what this person did? Like, oh my gosh. And I feel like a lot of my anxiety now comes from me talking trash back in the day. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Like we were, teenagers are just horrible. Like, teenagers are absolutely horrible. So I feel like some of my anxiety as an adult is knowing how I acted. Dang, my voice squeaked out, all nervous. Is knowing how I acted in middle school and high school that it just wasn't good. Like,
yeah.
I almost feel like this whole year of being married, which your anniversary is coming up.
It is. It's this coming Monday.
It's coming up.
It's crazy.
Guys, they're almost married a year. But I feel like this whole year of being married and being away from a lot of my past has really helped me grow in a sense of I don't really care about that stuff anymore. So I think I have anxiety because I'm just always afraid people aren't growing along with me and they're still caring about the same things and they're just talking absolute trash. But I'm sorry guys if we got a little bit off track, whatever.
Well, I mean, like there are people like that, and like I know people as soon as you walk out of a room, they start talking trash on whoever just left. And that's not okay because obviously there's something going on inside of them that feels the need to talk trash about everybody else around them. So I almost feel worse for them than I do for me, I guess.
Yeah. You have to have a pretty low point to just want to do nothing but tear other people down 24/7.
And I know people like that.
Oh,
I'm sure you do too.
Yeah. Yeah. I know people that just thrive off of it. I know people that, I'm not even going to say the example. Remind me to tell you the example when we get off of here.
I will.
Because I'm not going to say it on here because it would paint a picture. But anyway, I know people, this is how I'm going to sum it up. I know people that have hated carrots their entire life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And something happens with carrot, and now carrots are their favorite fruit. Or carrots are their favorite vegetable now that this thing happened. But
right.
People don't, this is long story short, some people don't like being friends with other people unless something benefits them, like you were saying earlier. And people like that are the reason why I get anxious over new friends.
Yeah.
It's it's just bad. But I hope I didn't get too far off the point there for a second.
I think you did great, honestly.
Thank you. But
So, yeah, this podcast has been so beneficial to me because I feel like I've been holding all of that in for these last 2 weeks.
oh, me too.
And it's just so nice to get to talk to you in person about it. I mean, we've been texting back and forth, but it's just nice to be able to talk to you about it, like, in person.
Like a normal conversation, like
Yeah.
being able to hear each other. I know, it's nice. Sometimes you just need to find that like best friend that you can talk to about anything. And even just talking about it, even if they don't know what to say back, like there are times that I really don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Like I really don't know what to say. So all you can really say is, I love you, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And just knowing that somebody is there for you and loves you makes it 100 times easier than if you kept it bottled in, or sometimes just knowing like, I'm listening, I understand what you're going through, not trying to decipher, oh, well, you should do this and do this. Just hearing like, I'm listening, like having I'm listening helps.
Right. And I whenever you text me about something and I'm not sure what to say, I always make sure like I remind you like you're an awesome person, you have a great personality, like because you do. Like I'm not just saying those things to make you feel better. Like I'm telling you those things because they're true.
I feel the same way about you. Yep. So guys, if your friends come to you and they're going through something and you're like, I'm not really sure how to answer this. I'm not sure what to do. Just tell them that you're there for them. And that means the world, because that's what Nikki and I do. We just build each other up. Even if you don't know what to say, just let them know you're there.
Yeah, tell them what you love about them, because they might forget that about themselves. Definitely.
That's smart.
Thanks.
You've said some wise things tonight, girl. I'm like taking notes. I'm like,
Listen,
check mark number 3.
I'm about ready to get a psychology degree, because this is another thing I want to talk about. I looked into doing like an online therapist, like just to have somebody like medically to talk to that knows what they're talking about. $100 a Skype call. Why is that so expensive?
Wow. What can you get with $100? Let me think. But no, that's insane.
Yeah, because there was one night I was like, well, maybe I would benefit from talking to a psychologist or a therapist or whatever. So I get online and I'm doing some research and I'm like, I want somebody that's body positive, someone that is specifically going to focus on blah, 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 blah. So I find like the perfect person. I look on their site, $100 per call.
That's a lot of money.
And I'm like, well, I better start taking some therapy classes because I'm going to have to be my own therapist.
Right. That's a lot. I mean, that's just a lot of money. Like, I don't know a lot of people that would be able to just outright pay, like, $100 for a Skype call. I got it. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's a big reason why a lot of people don't get help. It's because how expensive it is. It's just.
I honestly wish I would have took advantage of it in college because you got it for free. Mm-hmm. But I was just so afraid to go talk to somebody when I was in college. So
me too.
I definitely didn't. I wish I would have took advantage of it.
Yeah, it's something that's not easy for a lot of people though.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to admit you might need to talk to someone, and and there's always the, well, what if I talk to them and they tell me that my problems aren't valid? You know what I mean? What if I talk to them and they say, well, you don't really have any issues, you're just overreacting? That's what I've always been really afraid of.
I definitely agree. I feel the same way, because there are some times where I'll like have a mental breakdown and I know it's not because of the reason that I broke down for, but because of underlying reasons. And like I think I might have said this before, but there was one night while I was doing it was kind of like student teaching, but it's like before student teaching. And it was very hard and very stressful. And I was in the kitchen of my dorm room at the time with my roommates, and I just wanted some peanut butter toast. And I popped my toast in the toaster. I'm sitting there waiting, and I hear the ding of the toaster, but my toast didn't pop out. So I'm over there trying to move it around to get the toast to pop out, and I just broke down crying. And my roommates were like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "My toast is stuck in the toaster, and I just wanted some peanut butter toast." And I'm like bawling. And they're like, "We'll get your toast out. It's okay." And
Aww.
thank goodness for my roommate Rachel, because she was going through the same thing with me. Like, we did this together. And she was like, "Are you really crying about your toast? Or are you crying because you're so overwhelmed with everything going on right now?" And I was like, "The second one."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely, and I find myself even doing that now. Like, I would break down crying because I got a stain on our new comforter, and I just start bawling. And it's not because I got a stain on the comforter, but it's because I had so much anxiety over a conversation with somebody I worked with, and I just never let those emotions out to anybody.
Yep. My pastor, whenever Ryan and I were going, we had to meet with him a couple of times before we got married, just for the traditions and stuff. And one thing that I took with me through all of that is he gave an analogy that you have an invisible backpack, and all the problems and all the things that you hold in are piling in the backpack. And after a while, your backpack's going to get so heavy, you're just going to fall backwards, and you're going to just be really upset because you let your backpack get that full. So he told us it's always easy to unpack your backpack, talk about what's going on, talk about how you're feeling, talk about your emotions, talk about what made you mad for the day. And I try to keep that close to me, but it's just so hard sometimes. Like, it's hard to talk about, like, oh, I had an awkward conversation at the grocery store, and I felt like everybody's eyes were on me, and they all thought I was this big fat pig or something. Like, because that's how I feel a lot. There are times where I won't even wear shorts to the grocery store because I feel like everybody's going to be looking at my legs and saying how fat I am. And I know that's not the issue. Well, it's not the, I'm trying to think what the word would be.
It's not the case. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the case at all. No, probably nobody is going to look at my legs. If anybody is looking at my legs, they're probably not saying, "Oh, she's fat," but in the back of my mind, I'm like, people are going to think I'm huge. I can't wear shorts. So I'll put on a pair of jeans and I'll go to the store. And then I'll just get so frustrated over it that I'll just get really upset. And then all those little issues like that plump into my backpack. And after a while, my backpack's just going to explode open because I don't talk about it to anybody.
Right.
So,
And how do you go up to somebody and be like, I know I wouldn't want to sit down with Justin and be like, "I felt like everybody was staring at me today. I think that everybody hates me. For what reason, I don't know." Like, why? In my mind, I'm like, why would I tell him that? He's gonna think I'm crazy.
right. Or he's gonna believe what I'm thinking. Like, he's gonna think my legs look fat. That's one thing
Right.
and that would never happen with either of our husbands. It would never happen. But our
No.
brains play tricks on us. It's like, if I tell him I feel fat in these shorts because my legs look big, he's gonna think, like, it's like what you said about being so hard on yourself that you start believing it. I feel like I'm gonna start saying I'm fat so much that he's gonna start believing it, and that's not the
Right.
case. I hate it. I wish
Right.
there was just I could snap my fingers and, like, all this confidence could go inside of me and I could just be wonderful. But unfortunately, it takes work, and we are slowly but surely getting there. But
Definitely. Definitely. It is not a easy journey. It is stressful. It is hard. It is rocky, bumpy, whatever you want to call it.
mhm.
You literally go through HE double hockey sticks and back.
Yes.
Like, I remember, I think it was Saturday night. I was laying in bed, and I had, like, my anxiety was so bad that it felt like I had, like, a 50-pound weight on my chest. And I just remember thinking, am I ever going to feel normal? Like, why do I feel like this? And Sunday morning I woke up and like I said, I just felt like crap and I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to go anywhere. But having Justin there to like pick me up out of bed, like literally, I'm not kidding you. He picked out clothes for me and put them on my body because I didn't have the want to do that, which isn't like me. So just know if you're going through something like that, it will get better. You will feel normal again. It just might take longer than what you want it to. And
Wow, Justin's amazing. That's awesome.
yeah, well, it was funny because he was like, he picked out these clothes for me and I really didn't like them. But I put them on because he was being sweet and he's like, okay, are you ready to go out in public? No makeup on, literally had my bun still in my hair from the night I slept on this bun and it was still in my hair. And I was like, we're going somewhere? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, let me change my shirt. Let me do something with my hair. Let me put mascara on at least. So like he literally made me get ready
Aw,
because
that's
I didn't want to walk out of the house looking looking like crap.
right. I understand. There are sometimes I go to work and I look at myself in the mirror about halfway through the day. I'm like, oh, I'm like, man, I should have woke up a little earlier and put myself together. But I mean, I always at least try to do my hair and put on mascara. Like that's the very least I try to do. But sometimes I just don't have the energy. I wake up in the morning, I don't care. Like I don't care. I'm like thinking of things like, oh well, if I don't put foundation on, that'll give me an extra 2 minutes to sleep in the morning. Or if I
Yeah.
don't do this, it'll give me this extra money. Or if I just pull my hair up, it'll give me this much more time to get out of bed and I won't have to get going. But it's like either way, I'm gonna have to go out. Either way, I'm gonna have to do this, and I'm just gonna feel like crap if I don't do my makeup. So that's I don't know, guys. Oh, we're both yawning. Now I'm yawning.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. This is what adulthood is like. All of you guys out there listening.
Guys, like
It
this
is.
video if you yawned while we yawned.
Yes, like this video if you yawned after we did. But this is what adulthood is. It's 8:08 Pacific time. Wait, no. It's 8:08 Eastern time.
Hey, at least you know the difference. I don't know the difference, so
I think Pacific is like 3 hours behind us or something.
okay.
But it's 8:08 Eastern time right now, and I'm tired.
Same.
That is what becoming an adult is, and that's what when your mind runs 50 million miles an hour a day. This is what happens. You get tired. Don't really have any more energy. I have the dishwasher running, and I have some towels drying and some sheets drying. I'm tapping in. I'm tapping out after
I'm
this.
tapping in. Tap me back in. I'm ready to
tapping in.
do some more.
Three more loads of laundry. Let me have it. Like
Yeah,
but,
I feel that. My office, our spare room, is covered in all kinds of stuff because my mom recently just changed my old bedroom. Like they painted it and my mom was like, I need you to come get your stuff that's in here. Like you don't have to take everything, but like just move a couple things so we have room to work. And I was like, well, if I'm coming over to get my stuff, I'm just gonna grab all of it. So I grabbed it and it's just been sitting in our spare room and I'm slowly going through everything.
yep. Every time my parents come down, I do something like that. Oh my gosh. So what are they making the room into?
So my brother is going to move to that room because the chimney that's in my mom that's on my mom's house is falling. So yeah, I know. So my stepdad needs to get into my brother's room and fix the chimney because that's where it's at. Well, if you know my brother, he has any movie you could possibly think of, it's probably in his bedroom. So he has movies upon movies upon movies, upon CDs, upon video games. So they basically said, hey, you need to move to Nikki's old room just so we can get the chimney down. And he was like, well, if I'm going to move over there, I might as well just stay there. which at first I was not okay with because that is my bedroom.
It has been forever.
Yeah, my purple walls, my pink carpet, like I think that had a big reason of my emotional issues this week too, just because like I was losing my childhood bedroom. But my mom's like, you're not going to be able to stay here again. Like, we're going to make the other room, into a room for you if you want to come stay, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, it's not that. It's the fact that you're taking away my purple walls and my pink carpet and my bed that everybody came and slept on and said was so comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I'm okay with it. Like, it's been 2 years since I've lived there. It's about time.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I love that bedroom.
Me too.
Some good times. Guys, sorry we got off track a little bit. This is what a normal conversation is like between her and I.
This is like what our podcast should be like, because literally, guys, we talk in like circles constantly.
We really seriously do. Like, we'll talk about something, then we'll talk about 2 other things, and then we'll be like, oh yeah, so like I was saying earlier, we'll continue where we were before.
Yeah.
So it's great, but yeah, we wanted to do this episode because we just, we talked to each other through everything, and we took a little hiatus on the podcast for a week or 2, and we just want to make sure that those of you out there that do listen to us and do support us, you know that you're not alone, and you know there are resources out there, and you know that it is okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
It really is, and that's all about being a human and having emotions and understanding it's okay to not be perfect, as long as you are your own version of perfect, as long as you are, doing all the things that you think are good. That's all that matters. Don't live up to anybody else's expectations, because you're not going to be happy.
I love that. Look at you being inspirational.
Thank you. We really made some quotes tonight. That's for sure.
We really have. And guys, if you are struggling to find somebody to talk to, reach out to us. We are always here to listen. And so is 11.
Yes, he is. Isn't that right, little guy? You're always here to listen.
And
Joy.
Joy's over here laying on her dog bed because she's been a little brat today. Guys, she showed her teeth at me today. You best believe I snapped that in the butt right away, because my dog is a good girl, not a bad girl.
She is. She really is. I mean, and this guy over here killed a snake on Sunday. You're not going anywhere. He killed a snake on Sunday. I thought he was playing with a rope. I didn't have my glasses on. I put my glasses on. I was like, I have pictures and I have a video of it. We are going to do, I guess we could talk about this real quick. We are going to do, for our vlog, we talked about doing a pet vlog. So I'm not really sure what exactly we're going to be doing with it. All right, go. Yeah, go ahead. Jump up on the entertainment center, do your thing. So I'm not sure exactly what all we're going to be doing with it, but I'm going to add that picture of 11 with the snake, because, I mean, the snake had to have been like this long. It was like this thick. He killed the dang thing. I was like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
The snake's nowhere to be seen, so I have no idea. I figured I was either going to have the snake on the front porch or on the side porch or somewhere. I cannot find the snake. So I don't know where he got rid of it, or God forbid he ate it.
I hope not.
I hope he didn't. That's nasty. But yeah, guys, that's what living with a cat that you let outside sometimes. That's what that's like. It's an adventure.
It's an adventure. Yeah, but definitely we are going to be doing like a pet vlog. We're getting back into our vlogs. Yes. I am going to be posting day in the life with us this Friday. So keep your eyes out this Friday for that vlog. And we are going to be picking that back up starting next week. So definitely keep your eyes out for our vlogs, our podcasts. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, if you guys want to watch our vlogs, we are only doing YouTube for that. So definitely check our YouTube out. Like our videos because that does help with the like algorithm of YouTube. And we'd like to get our videos out there a little bit more. So yeah, definitely if you like our videos, subscribe to us, comment, keep up with us. We love interacting with you guys. We haven't really got to do that too much, so yeah.
Yes, we are always up for a new subscriber or for somebody to say hi to us. It is always a great feeling whenever you see that somebody's listening to you that you didn't know was listening, or you get a little comment here or there. But we have a lot of fun doing it. And I hope that you guys are able to take something from this podcast tonight, whether it's a little laugh with us, it's feeling like you are valid, it's feeling like you aren't alone. If it's any of those things, we hope that you took something out of this, and we are super happy that we are able to use our platform for things more than just entertainment, that we can really reach a helping hand out, and hope that this can affect somebody in a positive way.
Definitely. If you guys feel like you're not worthy or your emotions aren't valid, just know that they are, and you are worthy. You have a body that is working, it is keeping you alive, and that's more than some people can say. So definitely appreciate your body, appreciate yourself, and know if you are going through a hard time that it will get better. So.
Yes. What she said.
But we're done talking your ear off for the night. I also want to give a shout out to our people listening in Ireland. Like, that still blows my mind that there are people from Ireland.
Thanks for listening to us. Real quick, talking about Ireland, for my birthday, my in-laws got me an ancestry kit. And I got the email on, it was either Monday or last Friday. Maybe it was last Friday. It was before the weekend, so it couldn't have been Monday. Saying that in 6 to 8 weeks, I will have my ancestry details back, which means I'm going to know where the heck I'm from. So you people in Ireland, I might be from Ireland. I have no idea where my roots go back to. I know I'm part Lithuanian. I know I have a little bit of German in me, but that'd be pretty cool. Leave a comment down below if you're listening. From Ireland.
So when you get that back, we should definitely record a podcast about that.
Yes.
And share your details on it. That would be so cool.
I think it'd be awesome. I would love to. I only know a couple of people from my mom's dad's side of the family, and we really basically disown them because they're horrible people. They would never listen to this. So you know who you are if you are listening in some weird world. But I would like to know the other people from that side of the family. So hopefully we can figure that out. But yeah, guys, thank you for listening. Oh, wait, we have to do our rant of the day.
I almost forgot about it.
We got to do the rant of the day. Nikki, do you have one for us, or do you want me to go?
I have a rant.
Okay, let me hear it.
And this rant is for anybody that watches The Office. I've currently been binge watching. I love The Office. I never thought I would get into it. I started watching it like a couple months ago, and I was like, no, this isn't for me. And everyone said, you have to get through the first season. And I'm like, well, I'm thinking the first season is going to be like 12 episodes. I get on Netflix. The first season is only 4 episodes.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like,
nuts.
I was like, okay, I'll give it a try while I get through the first season. And the only thing that kept me there was Jim and Pam.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept watching it for Jim and Pam. And now I'm like actually invested in the other characters. But my rant does not involve that. My rant is about, there's an episode on The Office where if you watch Glee, the guy that plays Artie Abrams is a pizza delivery guy that they capture and keep in the office because they want half off their pizza and he wouldn't get
Wait a second. Oh my gosh, that is Artie.
Yeah.
My mind's blown. I've seen that episode.
Yes. Okay, so that episode, I was like, oh my gosh, that's Artie Abrams. That's crazy. Fast forward like 3 or 4 seasons later, they do an episode about Glee. So I'm like, oh, they have to make an Artie joke. Like, be like, oh, does that kid look familiar or something like that? Nothing.
Seriously?
nothing. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. They missed such a good opportunity for that.
Yeah, seriously, that's like perfect. I'm very surprised they didn't.
Yeah. So I'm a little
Huh.
salty about that. But yeah, that's my rant of the day. They should have made a joke
Good.
about that.
That's good. Yeah, I don't see why they. That's weird. That's weird.
It is. What is your rant?
Well, I don't know if I've talked about this before. I may have.
Oh,
So,
geez.
guys, if I've talked about this before, I'm sorry. Have I talked about wearing your shoes in my house?
To me, yes. I don't know if you talked about it on the podcast.
Guys. If you want to piss me off, for anybody that knows me, I'm not confrontational. I try to be nice to everybody. I just don't like telling people no. I don't like telling people the way things are. But if you want to grind my gears, you will wear your dirty shoes that you've worn in public bathrooms, that you've walked in the grass where a dead snake body could be, or that you've stepped in dog poo-poo, and you wear them into my freaking house. Why? Why? Why do people wear shoes into houses? Like, my mom taught me, do not wear your shoes in houses unless they're like, oh, keep your shoes on. Like, keep your shoes on. Then you have a heyday.
And even then, I would still take my shoes.
Yeah, I take mine off just because it's so nasty. And mopping, if you have hardwood floors, guys, if you have hardwood floors and you mop them, and later that day, some punk comes into your home and walks and leaves footprints, you're going to be pissed the rest of the day. You're going to be mad. You're going to say, I might as well just not even do the laundry at this point because the 2 hours I spent today mopping are out the door because you wore your stank shoes in my house. Guys, I'm very passionate about this subject. I could go on and on and on. I'm not going to do that to you because I care about you guys. And I don't want to drive Nikki crazy. But don't wear your shoes in my house.
Listen, I have the same freaking issue. I get so mad. And, I don't like to say much about it because my stepdad comes over and I love him to death. He has such a special place in my heart, but he wears his shoes in my house and it makes me so angry.
It's like, why are you keeping your shoes on? Are you afraid that my floors are dirty? Do you not want to get your feet dirty? Or were you just raised to be the way you are?
You know why my floors are dirty? Because you wear your stinky ass.
Yeah.
For real though, you wear your gross shoes in my house and make my floor dirty.
You make my floor smell the same way your. Anyways. It's just nasty. Just take your freaking shoes off. It's not that hard. It takes 2 seconds. And if you don't want to lace your shoes up, then just don't buy laced shoes. It's not my problem. You're lazy. But yes, guys, it makes me so angry. And what else makes me mad? Real quick. So I have this cute little coffee table here sitting in front of the couch, right? And my dear husband comes home every night and watches this dang tuna show, Tuna Outer Banks. Wicked Tuna is what it's called. Wicked Tuna Outer Banks. And he watches it. It's on Disney Plus for anybody that wants to watch it. And I don't know, just it's horrible. But I wouldn't let him know that because he's passionate about it and wants to go fishing now. My dear husband will heat some pizza rolls up or we'll make some chocolate milk because that's what he does every night. I come out in the morning and there's a plate and a cup and a fork on the coffee table every single morning. And I have to tell him, I said, I love you, right? Yeah. Why do you leave dishes on the coffee table after I just loaded the dishwasher? I'm so tired. I just can't do it. I'm like, can you brush your teeth before you come to bed? Yeah. Well, then walk and talk, honey. Chip chop. Take your plate out while you're brushing your teeth, my mans, and then we won't have to worry about this.
Oh my God.
I came in this morning. I told my father-in-law I went for a walk with him yesterday. I told him, I said, I'll bet you $5 there's a piece of silverware or a plate on that coffee table when I wake up this morning. There was a fork, a lone fork sitting on the coffee table, and it makes me lose my mind. But yeah, guys, that's my rants of the day.
I love it.
I'm feeling passionate tonight, so
I love it.
Yeah, there you go. Happy Tuesday.
Happy freaking Tuesday. It'll be Wednesday when we upload this, but happy freaking Wednesday and
Yes.
Tuesday.
Happy hump day. If you're hearing this, it's been a struggle. But yes, guys, thank you so much for listening. We hope that we helped you guys out. We hope you guys had a couple of laughs with us. If you have any questions, like we said earlier, feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to lend a helping hand. We want to be there for you. We love being there for each other. And yeah, just my last little piece of advice before we go is find a friend that you know is going to be there for you and is genuine about you. And that's all that matters. Let's just find that one friend and just
hold on to them tight.
Yes, because there are some fish in that sea that are not worth frying.
I definitely agree. 100%. Thank you guys for listening to us. It's been this is probably one of the longest podcasts we've had, but we haven't talked to each other in like 2 weeks. So we hope you guys enjoyed this. We've enjoyed talking to you. I am Nikki.
And I'm Cass, and you know what you're listening to. Two
Wives,
One World.
One World. Talk to you guys next time.
Yeah.